Hey Virgo, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 8th to the 22nd. I know that's kind of a weird time period, but I want to keep the last week of the month all by itself. We'll talk about that next time. So let's get right into things. I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Remember, these are general messages. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. You always want to check your rising sun, moon sign, and Venus, in addition to your sun sign for the fullest message. And let's start off with a Celtic cross. We're going to first focus on career/money. Okay. And then we're going to pull for relationship for those of you in relationship. And then I'm going to pull for those of you who are in separation. And that's just kind of how I'm doing it. Try to change it up each week. And we will see what ends up coming out. We have the 5 of Wands. We have the Chariot. Listen, we have a lot of action going on in your second house money right now, Virgo. So let's see what the cards have to say to further support what's going on. A lot of you guys are going to be feeling, first of all, pretty amped up to either heal some sort of situation that's been going on with your health, or get back into some sort of fitness routine or anything like that, because we have this, if you see me, I'm just looking at your chart here. For the archetype, we have Saturn is going direct on the 10th. Yeah. So you're going to start, if you've been feeling held back, having to do anything with your health or anything to do with your day-to-day, but especially day-to-day work environment, people that you work with, where you work, if things have been held back, where it's 4 steps forward, 3 steps back kind of thing that's been going on, that's finally going to start to lift. Saturn goes direct on the 10th, and you're going to find it easier, or at least necessary, to get back on track with anything like I was mentioning having to do with health. It's also a time to be, or you're at least going to be feeling a lot more comfortable taking a more straightforward approach. You're not going to feel like so many things are in your way, even though Mercury's still retrograde until the 18th. You're just going to start to feel this lightening up. Just, what I was going to say, to be forewarned, just to be forearmed, right? Whenever any planet goes direct, you always want to make sure you understand that whatever energy they represent, that's very heightened the couple of days before and after, but especially the day before, the day of, and the day after. Very heightened energy. And then it'll start to lighten up, but it's very heightened. That goes for Mercury, Pluto, Jupiter. It goes for everybody. Everybody, they're people. No. But all the energies are like that. So things are going to start lightening up. But, let's look at this here. We have you right now when it comes to some sort of financial situation. You're the 5 of Wands right now, Virgo. So this is all about feeling very argumentative. You're feeling very, let me pull this down a little bit for you here, right? You're feeling very argumentative, or you're experiencing arguments with people in your circle that you're dealing with. Lack of meeting of the minds, lots of arguments. Now, the challenge for you right now, though, is the Chariot, which is about, excuse me, moving, excuse me, my throat chakra is closing, leaving the toxicity. Chariot is a Cancer energy. So now literally there might be arguments having to do with home, right? Because the Chariot in astrology is Cancer. So you could be arguing about some sort of financial situation regarding a home, buying a home, selling a home, any sort of inheritance situation, if it has to do with a family home, something like that. But for those of you that don't resonate with it that way, the Chariot is also about, in a very expedited way, by the way, moving away from some sort of toxicity, right? And this can be your challenge. Now, again, this idea of this desire for change, this desire for progression forward, having to do with some sort of financial or business situation, can be a little challenging for you right now. Can you see this? I'm going to bring this down a little bit lower. Okay. But the moon energy is coming into this. This is the moon. So you may be doing something. My glasses. You may be doing something here having to do with career or money, where you're in this space of okay, I achieved this goal, or, what I'm doing is okay, but feeling is it really worth it? Is this really right? I mean, there's this element of disappointment that seems to be showing up for me here. You're feeling disappointed in how something is rolling out, or about your potential to be as successful as you would like to be in this energy. Even if money matters is stable, some of you may even feel like you need to protect yourself from other people's negative energy, like toxic colleagues, or like a negative boss, anything like that, where, you're sort of getting in touch here in the recent past with the fact that you want to do something for more than just a simple paycheck, right? For a lot of you, that's the situation that I'm getting regarding some sort of financial situation. And we have the King of Swords as the basis of the situation, working with the beautiful Nine of Cups. So, these two together, it's telling me you're going very mental. You're staying very practical in your sense of self. You're staying practical with the facts. It's like you're not allowing your emotions to get in the way of something. You're like, all right, what's the situation? Let me deal with it. Right. And all of that is in an attempt to actually manifest something that's really positive for you, getting into something that really speaks to your heart space, or having an outcome that you're really, really happy with. Even if you're dealing with some sort of lawsuit or any kind of, even if it has to do with some sort of, if it's not inheritance or an insurance payout, maybe even something having to do with retirement, some sort of retirement arrangement. So we have the the Page of Pentacles as the advice card here. So Page always incites a new cycle, and Pentacles obviously is money. So the most basic understanding of this is a new job, where there's this recommendation here from Spirit saying that the job that you're in, if you're not getting a new job, the job that you're in needs to be handled differently. Maybe there needs to be a change in approach. Maybe there needs to be some sort of improved skill set for some of you, maybe in that space. Some of you may be changing, though, as well, how you show up in work, or changing the way you process or learn something, right? Or even changing the way that you see how you work, right? Because you have that Scorpio in the third, and you have Uranus retrograde and Taurus in the ninth. So, that has to do with your belief system, and it has to do with marketing and advertising and launching and publishing. And so that surprise coming in the ninth may actually end up serving to change the way that you handle your work, or you think about your work, or the path that you see yourself going on in the future. Now, external to you, having to do with either your career or some sort of financial situation, is the Sun card, which is so good. This is just so good. In numerology, this is the Wheel of Fortune, which just indicates to me that somebody that you're dealing with understands that there's some sort of turning point that's been reached. And this is a Jupiter energy. It's about luck. It's about expansion. It's about taking a chance. So you may be dealing with an energy who's very willing to take some sort of chance on you right now, Virgo. Maybe they want to bring you on board. They want to go into business with you. There's some sort of joining up of forces, which I really, really like here. Now, your challenge here, though, is the Emperor energy, which is interesting because this is boss energy, right? This is you being the boss, though. This is leadership, right? The Emperor is Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. It's very much, come on, fresh path, new perspective, let's go. And it's moving forward, though, and taking initiative in a way where you're ambitious, right? But you're taking control over something, and you're trying to gain order in your life to be able to bring you self-security. Right. And a lot of determination is needed here. But the funny thing with the Emperor, and again, this is showing up as your personal psychological challenge. The Emperor can see things, but may not have all the answers in how to actually make it happen. So that may be the issue. It's like you see things in your mind's eye as far as how things should roll out, given all of the information available to you, but not being totally sure how to actually make that happen. But it's not for lack of not having a creative perspective over, where you would like things to go or how you would like things to roll out. But you may be kind of challenged right now in being able to manifest those things. And I'm not even talking spiritually, like literally in the 3D. Maybe you're short money. Maybe you need an investor. Maybe the time is not right. Maybe there are situations going on in your personal life that might be holding back your ability to move forward in something in the way that you would really like to do it. Now, in the near future, I see the King of Pentacles here. Oh my gosh, look at this. We have the two King of Pentacles. In this particular deck, when it comes to the core cards, we have male and female. And we got both as the near future and the final outcome energy. So this is heightening this energy that I feel like is going to end up being a thing for you. So something to think about. What is the King of Pentacles? Well, the King of Pentacles is a very hardworking energy for sure, very patient, all of that good stuff there, solid in that way, but there's an element of greed. So for some of you, some of you may be dealing with somebody who, I want to say either maybe not so much that they're greedy, but maybe they're not wanting to work with you in a particular way. They're not wanting to change the way that they do something. But there could be this element of money as well, where, let's say, for example, you're dealing with some sort of insurance payout, right? Which you might be dealing with that, or inheritance or anything like that, because you do have Chiron retrograde in Aries in your eighth house of endings and beginnings of cycles. And the eighth house is when you have any sort of lawsuit, settlement, again, any kind of payout coming from other, that we look at the eighth house for that, the like especially the monetary amount, we look at the eighth house for that. And you have the wounded warrior in there, so it's all about something that's been very painful for you, something that needs healing, something that needs addressing, right? So there might be this tension as far as money, maybe either having with your spouse, with a business partner, or even in the money that you have coming into you for the work that you do. Because again, there's this element of greed. And because we got both kings, there's going to be this element of tension. Now, it can have to do with somebody being funny with their money, where they're willing to give up to a certain point and not a penny more. Or it could be somebody having to do with a money situation where they're just not moving off their mark. They're just refusing. It's like they're getting dug in and they don't want to do anything any differently. Okay, then we have the Three of Pentacles, clarifying that. So the Three of Pentacles is a Mars and Capricorn energy, which is all about collaborating, coming together, building. I always call that the architect card, right? Where it's like, all right, where do we see ourselves going? How can we come together and collaborate for success? So I do see that conversation getting incited as a result of those two King of Pentacle energies together. And I do want to say on the full moon that's going to be happening on the 20th, this is going to be a reminder for some of you regarding any sort of overspending, because all of this energy is going to be happening in your second house. You're going to have the Mars, the Sun, Mercury is retrograde, but is going to be going direct, right? On the 18th. There's a lot going on the 18th, actually. I'm just looking at your chart. Yeah. So we have a lot of energy. Jupiter's going direct. We have a lot of energy that's going to be going direct on the 18th. And then we have the full moon on the 20th. So for you, there's going to be a lot of, you're going to feel this lightening up for sure. There's going to be this forward movement in the second house. So you might be, made to consider, any area where you're overspending in your life, or there is this tension with other in that eighth house that I was talking about regarding some sort of financial issue where there's going to be some sort of light shown on an issue, and where there's going to be this inciting to want to sort of communicate better and smooth some sort of situation over. And that really is the Three of Pentacles. Long explanation of that, I know, but I wanted to work in the astrology with that as well. Beautiful. Then we have the Queen of Wands. This is all about you stepping into your power. Really very nice. Ooh, very nice. We got the other Emperor. The Emperor is not a core card, but they give us two in this deck. So this is very strong for me because we have the two Emperors here and we have the two King of Pentacles here. So there's going to be a lot of consideration about how in control are you of your life? How in control are you of your money and where it is that you want to go, Virgo? There's a lot of focus on that for you right now. Beautiful. We have the Star. Lovely. I mean, this is like literally a star rising. This is you getting acknowledged for what you bring to the table. This is acknowledgement at work. This is success coming in. This is an improvement in your finances. We have the Nine of Wands. You're very tired. I mean, you're very tired having to do with some kind of situation. You still have a very strong desire to be involved in something, to move forward in something. You're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? But you're in this space right now where energies are heightened because you feel the change and you may feel kind of defensive right now. And that's okay. The key here with the Nine of Wands is understand that at the end of the day, you're in a powerful position. The reason you're feeling defensive is probably very valid. So it's all about balance right now and trying to, not even going to say stay in control, but you want to just try to hold it together. Let Mercury come out of post shadow. Let these energies go direct. Do you know what I'm saying? And just don't try to avoid going into a Ten of Wands energy, which is overwhelm, and I can't do this anymore, and that's it. You don't need to get to that point. The 9 is very supportive of you, but it does recognize that you're tired of some sort of situation that's going on, either within your career regarding a financial situation. And chances are it's because there's this lack of squaring between the way you want, or the way you want things to go in reality, having to do with this situation, or even maybe what you think is possible, right? Well, you know, in your mind's eye, it really doesn't have to be this hard. Let's just do A, B, and C. Why can't we just do da, da, da? But you're dealing with another energy that does not agree with you. And you're recognizing in the 5 of Swords is this recognition that you can only mitigate your own stuff. You can't fix the unfixable. And what's unfixable? Other people. For you, you can only own your own stuff, right? So if you no matter how, depending on the situation, right? I mean, obviously, if this has to do with a family member and it's a financial situation, you might be yelling. No matter how loud you yell and scream. If it has to do with the boss, the passive aggressiveness, the quiet, whatever, the whatever it is, the bucking of the heads, it's not going to make any difference. Like, this person needs to see something, and you need to recognize that. It's better, you're much better off just, with grace, saying, okay, I'm disappointed. Let me step back from this right now. It's going to put you into a space, though, where you're going to be at an emotional crossroads with yourself, right? I mean, this is Moon in Libra. It's like your emotions are sort of entrenched in this idea of, are your needs being met? Is this fair? Is this equitable? A Moon in Libra, Moon is emotions, right? It's very intuitive. And Libra is the landlord of the 7th house. And when it comes to money or career kind of things, you might be dealing with some sort of situation where you feel very tested right now. And you're in this space where you're trying to figure out, is this fair? Is this right? Do I have all the information? And the thing is, getting this tells me that if you can hang in there and be very open to the idea of addressing whatever the situation is, it might not roll out immediately. Again, let the end of the month, beginning in November, roll out, where there's more clarity, more forward movement, because ultimately, whatever it is that you throw your honesty and integrity into right now is going to end up voting in your favor. So if you have any sort of situation where there needs to be a meeting of the minds, or there needs to be some sort of negotiation, or there needs to be some sort of contract signed, right? This is going to go in your favor, but you have to approach it from a space where, yes, this is definitely what I want. I'm going to stay open, and have a very sort of decided vision as you get into it. So you don't create any energetic blocks that end up getting in the way of that. Then we have the Knight of Swords, expect the unexpected. Now, this could be a little bit of a roller coaster energy. You might be dealing with the Knight of Swords, which is somebody who comes in and they're very assertive in their tone. And this is how I think it needs to be, and very, sort of putting their foot down kind of thing. But they end up creating a lot of drama in the meantime. There's a lot of upheaval, a lot of aggressiveness, and then they take no responsibility for addressing the issues as far as how are we going to, move forward regarding the situation. So you might be dealing with that, which could be very, very annoying. Particularly, I mean, these are all like, we're 5 of Swords. Yeah. So it's like this, some situation is not going the way that you want, and you're sitting in this space of confusion. Like, is this fair? Is this right? And you're dealing with this kind of energy. If you're dealing with that energy, if it's not, and it's just a general influence, this is all about expect the unexpected. But let's clarify that. We have the Strength card in reverse for you coming up. So that tells me that you're a little feeling a little back on your heels about confronting somebody. And now it could be because you just don't want to deal with it. And you're like, what's the point? Nothing's going to change. Why even bother with them? So it's sort of like the ease of it, or the discomfort of it, or maybe a little bit of both, right? But the point here is be strong and confront. And I want to say that again, particularly because we did get this 2 of Swords energy. So the 2 of Swords is, say what you need to say, stand your ground. because whatever situation you're dealing with is not going away. It's not going to be, you can't kind of like think your way through this one. So some sort of situation definitely needs to be confronted. And very nice, we have the Six of Pentacles. This is excellent if you're dealing with any sort of investment, any sort of insurance payout, any sort of inheritance situation. This is very much an energy of reciprocity. I have your back, you have mine. Some of you might even be getting help from somebody from the past regarding finances. Maybe they're investing in something, or maybe you're actually helping somebody else out. Good. The Hierophant, I like this. This is very healthy because not only is this about you moving forward and advancing whatever your agenda is, but this is having very clear expectations, and everybody on board is able to conform to whatever is rolling out here. So I see this ultimately for sure going in your favor. And look at the final card. Beautiful. We have the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is, it's totally speaking to your heart space. So that's figuring out some sort of business situation, deepening the communication, having to do with some sort of career or financial situation, whatever it is, it's going to bode in your favor, right? That is the Ten of Cups energy. So really nice there. I like that energy for you, my Virgo friends. So that's what we have for career or money, any area of your life that might involve money. So now let's go into relationship. So the first spread that I'm going to pull is going to be for those of you who are in a relationship, whether things are a little wonky right now or not, doesn't really matter. You guys are together. Okay. And then I'm going to follow this up with one where you guys are in separation. I'm going to be doing a specialty read for relationships probably next week. Well, I'll include singles. It takes a lot of time to do in-depth reads for all the different versions of relationships. So I sort of have to go with the most requested, initially, and save the other ones for the specialty reads that I do. Okay. So let's see where we're at, our Virgo friends. Let's see what's hanging out in your seventh house. You have Pisces, Neptune retrograde, and Pisces. So a little bit of sacrificial energy going on in that seventh house. In your fifth house of falling in love, love affairs, romance. We have Venus and Sag. And the South Node. Oh, I like those two together, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I like those two together in your fifth house, especially for those of you who are sort of in this space in your relationship with changes needed, because the South Node is all about needing to release something that really hasn't been serving you. And because we're sort of coming to the end of this nodal axis, energetically, we're sort of getting ready for the Scorpio Taurus axis, right? So we're sort of winding down to the Sagittarius and Gemini. So whatever is, okay, my lights are going out. I guess that was an important message. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll continue. So I feel like this is a really nice energy with Venus and Sagittarius. Venus and Sagittarius is going to incite when it comes to, anything to do with your children, anything to do with creativity, anything to do with relationship, falling in love. There's going to be this balance and fairness and belief system and who believes what. And the truth and integrity are going to be very, very not only important to look at, but impossible to ignore right now, which I think is great, especially because that you've had this Neptune in Pisces for a while now. And it is this energy of like, am I sacrificing what I really want? It's very sacrificial. That Neptune energy, right? Pisces is a very sacrificial energy. Am I martyring myself here in relationship? So I feel like a lot of you in relationship are going to sort of have this energy rise to the top where it's like, we need to sit down and have a conversation here. Hopefully after the 18th, once Mercury comes out of retrograde, just because it'll be lighter and a little easier, unless you guys have been in a relationship for quite a while and you're sort of just kind of going over certain things that have happened. Mercury retrograde is a fantastic time to do that. It really is. It's only bad for sitting down and talking about brand new things, and having great clarity. But anyway, let's talk about where you're at right now, having to do with this relationship. we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is a nice energy in that it's about, celebration. It's an abundant energy. It indicates circle of support. It also indicates a lot of healing, right? Three is the number of healing. Three is the number of creation. So I feel like that's where you're at right now. That's where you are at personally, right? But what is your challenge? Your challenge is, interesting, because while you're trying to heal something, you're very confused about something at the same time, right? We have the Two of Swords. You're in an emotional stalemate with this Two of Swords is like, yeah, this situation is really bothering me. I need to speak my mind. I know it's not going away. I'm feeling really defensive. I have to just say what I need to say, because there is this feeling where you feel like something's amiss. Again, because this is a moon and Libra energy, you might be looking at, are your emotional needs being met? Do you like that version of yourself in this relationship? And if you don't, does it have anything to do with maybe how your partner is treating you? And these are things that will need to be certainly discussed. I mean, coming into this energy, we have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is indicating a new cycle of passion. So I feel like either there was this sort of getting over some sort of past obstacle, could be, right? Again, because that page is new cycle. This could be that you just started this new relationship. Either way, wands are will, passion, motivation. It's also sexuality. Page does indicate a new cycle. So this could be a new relationship is at play within this connection somehow. Or it's this incitement of this new cycle of passion for you guys. But here you are in the space of wanting to heal, but you can't not see something. There's something that, and you have to address it. Again, the Two of Swords it's not going away. You have to address it. We have the Five of Cups as the basis of the situation here, which is something ending before you felt ready for it to end. And it's the sadness and disappointment. You have everything that you need, though, to move forward. You're going to be able to deal with it, right? But there's some, whatever it is, the stress, the sadness, whatever it is, but this is an energy of a new start is the basis of a situation. And then we have the Ace of Wands, Virgo. I mean, I'm really getting very like a new energy here, because Ace is new. And this is a new cycle of passion, of fertility, of growth. So this is very interesting, because you know what? I feel like for those of you resonating with this, and obviously this is not going to resonate for all Virgos, obviously, but this is a very complicated situation. Whoever's energy I'm picking up on, I feel like you guys are in a very bad place. I don't know if somebody was either unfaithful or thinking about entertaining another energy, or if this is in fact recognizing that somebody's just very immature in the relationship, or if the relationship is new. Those are all the things that this recent past Page of Wands energy can indicate. But there's this desire to heal. But this thing that's bothering you, the basis of this situation is this feeling of sadness and disappointment that something didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And then we have this, the Ace of Wands, which is all about fresh path, a new perspective, having to do with a new chapter of passion. Now, again, this has to do with sexuality because it's wands. It has to do with fertility. So this could literally be getting pregnant, starting a family, something like that. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship and you've been in for a long time, I feel like you're experiencing a period of disappointment because something is not rolling out the way that you thought. Maybe you want to have a baby and they don't, or they do and you don't. You want to move to a new home and they don't. It's like this lack of alignment when it comes to how you each think the relationship should actually move forward. Now, the message from Spirit is the Three of Wands, which is about turning your back on the past up to this point in a good way. This is not a bad thing. This is a very good thing. In a way, though, where you're doing things different. First of all, this is a marriage card, right? And this is advice. This is a marriage card, or at least recognizing how important this particular relationship is in your life. And now it's about turn your back on the past, focus on the future in a very unconventional way, in a very different way. It's almost like a fool energy kind of mixed in with this, right? Where if you're going to stay in the relationship, things need to be handled very differently, very unconventional to the way that you guys normally do it. Those of you who are making the decision to actually bring yourself out of this relationship, there may be somebody else who's interested in you that you're vibing already. As the 3 is never an alone energy. So if you're leaving this, you're feeling called forth by somebody. And it's different than what you've been in. And this person, those of you who are being called forth by somebody new, there's something very different about this person. I mean, all people are different. That sounds silly to say, but there's something unconventional about this person, or there's something unconventional about the relationship that you guys would be getting into. So maybe they live abroad, or maybe they're from a different culture, or some sort of different ethnicity than you normally go for, or maybe there's something very unique about their personality, or there's something about that situation. But now we have the person external to you that you're dealing with. Virgo, I don't know. I mean, we got the Hierophant card. This is the card of marriage. So I don't know if the person that you're dealing with wants to get married, and maybe you know, they do and you don't, or they are married and that's part of the issue here, is that they're not divorced yet. This could also be where they're in this space of having very defined expectations of the relationship and of you, or they're very challenged in showing up in accordance with particular expectations, right? But that's external to you. That's not you. That's external to you. Now, in your internal psychology, as a block is the devil. So this block can be showing up because you're dealing with the devil energy, or you're experiencing it within yourself, which indicates imbalance. So for some of you, this can indicate you're dealing with some sort of addiction, if not within yourself, with your partner. If it doesn't have to, an addiction comes in many, many different forms, right? What is addiction? It's really just a particular type of imbalance. It's too much of something. So obviously it could be to substances, it could be to sex, to money, to gambling, to food, to you know, the imbalance can manifest as narcissistic tendencies, egotism. It could also indicate cheating, you know, questionable morals, anything like that. And this is in your internal psychology, and this is not in the 3D. This is where you're being challenged. So, you know, you have to ask yourself, are you being challenged because you don't trust your partner, or you think that this is, you know, how they're acting? Or are you recognizing within yourself that you're experiencing a sense of imbalance within the relationship? Something just feels off. You know, it could certainly be that. Remember, numerology, this is a lover's energy. And the lover's energy is all about a choice. Well, lover's energy is always about choice, but it's making the choice to address issues in a balanced way together in order to get the blessing of Archangel Raphael for things to be rectified. And so it's addressing the imbalance, right? But it looks like you're having a hard time squaring that with where you're at and what you really want. So we have in the near future, we have the Page of Pentacles. So page, again, new cycle. Pentacles in this case can be mental, physical, emotional connection. For some of you, it might be, all right, no, I don't want to be in this relationship because I'm moving away and I'm going to be starting this new job. Or some of you may be like, I'm just starting this new job. And because we have the King of Swords as the final outcome here, this is staying very in the mental realm, very much in the pragmatics of a situation, not allowing your emotions to rule the situation. So when I get the Page of Pentacles and the King of Swords, some of you may be just focused on the idea of money as you enter this next stage of your life, focusing on, you know, like, look, I really don't even want to deal with relationship very much right now. I really just want to focus on my money, and I want to just stay, you know, keep my emotions out of it. And that's it. Some of you are going to be in that space, just wanting to focus on work. Others of you, this can indicate a new connection, mental, physical, or emotional connection. And you just staying in communication with them and really not acting on anything specifically. Okay, hold on now. Some of you might be in communication with somebody, maybe meeting somebody online, maybe they're meeting somebody online. Okay. All right. Well, we got the Sun as the final card. We have clarifying this King of Swords, staying very mental, right? Staying out of your emotions. We have the will you marry me card. This is the card of maturity, maturing, deepening the commitment, deepening the connection, shared resources, shared property, shared families, shared, morals. And that's being clarified by the strength card. So I feel like these two together with the 10 of Pentacles and the strength indicates the need for balance, right? Maybe you guys have been tested in your relationship and that this is a very positive energy, but there is a need for balance. It does seem like someone may need their ego stroked a little bit, okay? But the little caveat with the strength though, is you do want to make sure that you're addressing everything that needs addressing, whatever needs to be done in the relationship. And I feel like you guys are doing it because we have clarifying that we have the judgment energy. And the judgment energy is about assessing and letting go of the past and having this sort of spiritual awakening and the spiritual epiphany about the relationship and recognizing that things need to change, right? It's a Pluto energy. It's all about transformation, but really kind of being in the mindset where, you know what? Everyone did the best they knew how in the moment with the tools they had in their toolbox. Maybe we didn't all act in the best way, but we did the best we knew how in the moment, right? And it's as a result, I feel like, of that conversation that's really going to incite self-reflection and doing a lot of work on self. Really focusing on self a lot. That's very much a 9 of Pentacles energy. Independent endeavors, really looking within, trying to square up, right? 9 is the number of productivity. It's feeling very connected, body, mind, and spirit, right? You're really looking at this. This is something you're looking at. So I feel like whatever's going on in this relationship, it's bringing this very important conversation to the front of things. And it's really making you look at how well am I connected within this relationship? How authentic do I feel within myself within this relationship? Or do I feel like I'm needing to show up as a version of myself in this relationship rather than who I really am? Now we have the wheel clarifying this, which indicates a turning point. This is a Jupiter energy. This is the need to reconcile something. Now, some of you may literally be in a space of reconciliating the relationship or reconciling certain issues within the relationship. And the need to really look at what is the health of this relationship really, as far as moving forward. I do see some of you being very confused with the 7 of Cups. Because for some of you, this could be because there are choices involved. For others of you, there could be commitment issues involved in this. Others of you, things just feel really up in the air. And it's like, Virgo, how's this going in the relationship? And you're like, I have no idea. Ask me in a few weeks. I don't know what the hell is going on. Some of you may be in that space. But clarifying that is the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is some sort of offer coming in. For some of you, this could be a new partner. For others of you, this could be finding out that you're pregnant. For others of you, this could be, some sort of new offer coming in, though. And whatever is found out or discovered in this Page of Cups energy, it's going to make you really, really happy, because this is an energy of really feeling very connected and growing a beautiful connection. Like, it's not there yet. The sun doesn't make it there. The sun gives you all the tools that you need in your toolbox to actually grow something. So some of you may be in the space where you're trying to decide between two people, keeping it real. This is a general message. Others of you are sort of sitting down and having a heart to heart and realizing this new sort of epiphany with your partner. And there's this realization that's exactly what you guys need in order to be happy. So those are the two interpretations that I'm getting from the cards for those of you in relationship for this particular period right now. Okay, remember, you want to check your rising sign, your moon sign, and your Venus sign as well. Now let's pull for those of you who are in separation. Okay, oh boy. You were the love of my life. I didn't figure that out before. I now know that it's true. Oh boy. Okay. So let's pull a couple of clarifiers on that. Okay, Five of Pentacles, feeling the sense of lack, feeling heartbroken. Oh, and then okay, then we have the Four of Wands, it's about homecoming. Four of Wands is the honeymoon card. It's a strong foundation. There's some sort of disappointment here, but there's a desire for this, coming back together. My heart keeps coming back to you, even though I know you've lost faith in me. It's being clarified by the Chariot, which is things being expedited, getting away from anything that's toxic here. Remember, the Chariot is home. It's a metaphorical home. Wow, there's a lot of emotion here, Virgo. Seven of Wands, though, lots of defensiveness going on. There are obstacles, you're recognizing that, but your morality, your personal philosophy, this is very important within this connection right now. Again, you understand, as I always say, when we're talking about relationship reads, the energies can be very enmeshed. So whatever I'm saying about you or them, it always can be vice versa. So listen to the messages and then sort of apply it as you see fit. But the Seven of Wands makes sense to me, particularly because you have Venus in Sagittarius right now. And Venus, love, a planet of love in Sagittarius, which is the planet, really is the sign that sort of rules truth, and it rules morality and our personal philosophy and higher mindedness. So I really feel like this is sort of you, and you saying like, look, if whatever was toxic, that was not squaring with my moral code and my moral compass. It was not. Even though if you're the one who's heartbroken, even if you want to get back together, it's like you're not sacrificing that. And then finally, we have time passes, but my feelings don't change, even though you no longer trust me with your heart. Hangman. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Somebody wants to get back together or just meet somebody new. Let me pull clarifier for this. Hold on. All right. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Somebody's just not able to give the commitment that's necessary. We have the Five of Swords being clarified by the Ten of Coins. Yeah, 100%. So we have the Hangman energy, first of all, clarifying this time passes, but my feelings don't change, even though you no longer trust me with your heart. And then we have the Hangman energy. So the Hangman is a Neptune energy. Neptune's very sacrificial. And it's this recognition. I feel like you're thinking to yourself, if you go back to this relationship, you feeling like you're going to end up having to sacrifice something that ends up really mattering to you. And you're making the decision, I feel like, with the Ace of Wands, to start a whole new cycle of passion and growth having to do with relationship, because when we have the Five of Swords and the Ten of Coins energy together, and we have these two together, this is about you recognizing that what you want, the person that you're dealing with here, that you're in separation with, they're just not able to provide or show up in the way that you want. There's this discrepancy between the reality that the relationship brings and what it is that you really want. And clarifying that is the Ten of Pentacles, which is a will you marry me card. This is a family energy. This is a maturing energy. We're kind of coming together and creating together. You know what I mean? It's like creating family, creating a life. And this person just does, it's like you guys can't square. You guys are not squaring on your belief system and what it is that you want. So while they may miss you, and there is a lot of emotion here, there's no question, someone is not willing to show up in a particular way. It does seem. Yeah. Nine of Wands. Still has fire in your belly, but man, there's this, you're feeling very defensive. Virgo, it's like you're saying, no, I know they're no good for me, but yeah, low key, not so low key. I still kind of want to be with them and I want to balance things out with the Lover's energy. Yes. All right, there we go. And the Queen of Cups. Okay. Virgo. Yeah. So I see you guys having a very important conversation about what you need to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure in this relationship. This is what I see happening for you. So I see it after though a little bit. There's this realization. There has to be this really good conversation though about your not even going to say your ideologies, but what you see happening within this relationship as far as the possibilities and how is all that going to end up going. So anyway, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this is helpful in some way. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a beautiful week and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.